this game with a bit of pressure on trying to get a result. We had a fast start, Farah, but then two teams that kind of figured each other out.
Yeah, I think so. There's been a definite shape in the Man United team, which I think is, certainly when they started the game, they were a little bit hesitant with it, and we could see that. And Arsenal pounced on it a bit, started fast, found those areas that Manchester United were leaving, and they got an early goal from it. And then I felt as Man United settled into their shape, they actually became a little bit better and got themselves back in with a goal before the half. But apart from that, a little bit cagey for both teams.
Which manager goes in happy at half-time? Then Ellen?
I think it's pretty even, to be honest. I feel like Marc Skinner will be happy that his team got back into the game. It was a little bit shaky at the back when it was a bit of a 3-back, and then obviously a 5-back at the same time. And I feel like Arsenal should have took advantage when Man United looked a bit shaky. So I think it's pretty even at the moment. They've got to come all guns blazing. At the moment, Arsenal pretty happy with the draw, because that puts them in second. But Man United have to go for it.
Yeah, well, it was a big mistake, wasn't it, Farah, from the Manchester United goalkeeper, Joyce. A big mistake from her, which we don't usually see, which allowed Arsenal to get their first goal.
Yeah, she's been a massive part of why this defence has been so good. And you see here, cross from Russo, and it looks quite comfortable for Joyce. And whether the sun got in her eyes, Alex, I'm trying to make an excuse for her because she's been so good. But this would normally be a comfortable save. See Russo here, Joyce then drops it. I've highlighted Jansen because the rule for defenders, Alex, is that until it's secure from your goalkeeper, you have to stay around it. You have to be the first one to react. And that's something that Jensen didn't do. Chloe Kelly, credit to her, nips in front, and then a really good finish, deflected, but a really good finish. You see here, I don't know who it's the sun and the eye line, and lost a little bit of the ball, but yeah, big mistake from Joyce, but credit to Chloe Kelly, Alex. I thought in terms of the reaction, the speed to get onto it, and then the composure to finish.
I suppose because when you're talking about Chloe Kelly and the impact that she has had, we're seeing her smiling now, enjoying her football. What do you think her next move is? Do you go back to Manchester City? Do you hope to stay here at Arsenal?
My personal opinion is that she hopes to stay here, get a contract here at Arsenal. She's playing her football, and probably some of the best football I've seen for years from her. She looks happy. She's in the starting 11. She's pushed Beth Mead onto the bench. And I feel like she's put herself in a great position for the Euros in the summer.
She really has, and that was the intention for why she wanted to push that loan move away from Manchester City, Farah.
Yeah, and there were some question marks because she was coming into a competitive team. It wasn't a team that she was going to walk straight into. She could have gone to Brighton or Aston Villa and maybe started every game. She's had to compete for this spot and actually worked her way, as Ellen mentioned, into the starting 11. For me, it's a signing that for Arsenal they should make in the summer. I think, as I mentioned, she's literally slotted into this style of play. She looks at home, happy, and she's a big part of Arsenal, I would say, moving forward.
Well, talking about big game players, certainly for Manchester United, they have one in Ella Toon. Hasn't scored in her last 9, but getting herself ready for maybe the cup final next weekend.
She loves Wembley. She loves a big game, doesn't she? And actually, she wasn't too involved before she scored this header from the corner. But she's available, she's ready. I don't think she scored many headers in her career, I can't imagine. But this was a bit of a bundle in the box. But, she's got a little bit of space, maybe a yard. But then I've got to question Zinsberger here. She's got a big hand on this. And I feel like, could she have just moved that around the post? Obviously, she made a huge save to make it into a corner from Grace Clinton, but I've got to question Zinsberger whether she could have got a bigger hand to that. But credit to Ella Toon and the header.
I thought the header was good. It was obviously the ball's coming back across Zinsberger. She's got to work her feet, and she has to rework then. You have to question firstly the marking from Arsenal. I felt in the organisation defensively first wasn't good enough, but then Zinsberger has to make better contact. She's got a hand on it, which would suggest she's done her footwork already. The hand needs to be bigger and firmer and get it outside of the goal.
Well, Farah, let's continue to talk defence, because coming into this show, you were praising Manchester United's defence, the pairing, and then the first half they go and change and play 3 at the back, which you think makes them look a bit uncertain at times.
Yeah, a little bit. I think sometimes when you play against an opposition that only has one striker, the 3 centre-halves don't know who they want to pick up, who's going to go in and mark, and you'll just see here, Russo seems to be finding herself between centre-half and the outside centre-half, so the central centre-half and the outside. This was a really early chance where she gets between the two and gets a header. But Alex, if it's not her making contact, what she is doing is opening up spaces for her teammate. You'll see here work forward, back, and then she wants his space. She goes to go into it, defender drops with her, and it actually falls to her teammate, which should do better with this opportunity. But I think the movement is really disjointed and made the Manchester United backline unsettled.
Do you think it's something that they're looking at? Because it's rare that you change, and before going into a huge game like a cup final, do you think we're going to see this next week at Wembley?
That was something that I was asking myself. Are they looking to do it now and go against Chelsea next week in the FA Cup final, or is it because of injuries? Now, we know they have injuries in their back line, so it could potentially be that, but it'll be interesting if they go with this back five in the cup final.
Okay, well, Manchester United, they've had their chances in the first half, Ellen.
Yeah, they've had some big chances. Obviously, we saw Grace Clinton with a huge chance. Zinsberger make an unbelievable save. We'll see it here when Grace Clinton just gets to half a yard. That whip and that strike is unbelievable. We know she's got that in her locker, but Zinsberger pulls out an unbelievable right hand to tip that over the bar. And then when you give someone like Bizet this space to run into, she loves it, she thrives under it as well. And I think you need to see that more from the second half. We'll see a little bit of a shirt pull there from McCabe. Could that possibly have been a penalty? But obviously it hit the bar, but we'll see a little bit of a closer of the shirt pull here.
There's the shirt pull that you're mentioning, Ellen.
I don't know whether it maybe needs a little bit more, but it just kind of pushed her off centre there for the shot. But I think when you give her space, she's a very good player.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I think Clinton and Bizet, even with that chance, I think a little bit of time and space in them areas, you know they can cause problems. It's whether they can get into those areas more often than not to cause the problems.
So do you think Manchester United, they changed their formation in the second half, Farah?
I think they're more settled with a back four. I think they create better chances. They look more organised. And as I mentioned, that foundation of having good organisation behind, in terms of those transitions, which they've got quite a few of their goals from, works better for them. I feel like there's just a little bit of disconnect in the transitions in this formation at the moment.
Farah made a great point as well. We've seen Letizia be central defence. That's where she is so dominant. Her being stuck out on that right a little bit side, we're not seeing the best of her. So maybe she needs to come more central. Even put Janssen on that right, being a right back. Because I feel like you're losing her out there. You need her to be dominant and physical in the centre of the pitch.
Yeah, Rennie Slagers, she's smiling there, and obviously a club legend in Kelly Smith was just in vision there. It's like she's just taking it all in. Can she believe what's just happened here at the Emirates today? Like you said, planning and now already thinking ahead to that Champions League final, but what a game it was here at the Emirates. Right, let's look how things finished in the WSL this season. Yes, Chelsea crowned champions once again, and their win today against Liverpool means that they have hit the 60 mark, which is a new record in the WSL. Arsenal claimed second, Manchester United third, so all Champions League spots done, and Crystal Palace relegated from the WSL. Well, Farah, we've been talking about Arsenal and the goals. Manchester United, you know, they made a comeback, made it interesting. I think we need to go all the way back and remind ourselves, because it was a quick start to the game as well.
Yeah, it was a really quick start to the game. It was Russo that initiated the goal, actually. She picks the ball up, you'll see here, in a really good area, and just turns on it and looks for Chloe Kelly at the far post. Tullis Joyce had a fantastic season, but just doesn't get this one right. Flaps at it, and Chloe Kelly pounces on. You'll see here, Tullis Joyce just doesn't get the ball and the contact correct. Chloe Kelly first to react to it, gets a little nick on it, and then the composure to finish the goal. So it was a fantastic start, Alex. It was I think it's the quickest goal. We just saw the quickest goal at the Emirates for Arsenal. And then not long later, Manchester United get themselves back into the game with this header from a corner, and it was just that concentration that Arsenal lacked here in terms of organising, and Zinsberger potentially could have done more with that hand on the header there.
I suppose it's crazy when you think about Ella Toone. She's Manchester United's top goal scorer already, Ella, with 61 goals.
It's phenomenal what she's achieved already at Manchester United. She's an amazing talent, and I think she'll be having one eye on that cup final, what she can do to obviously impose herself against Chelsea. But it's a great header, and it got Manchester United back into the game.
Yeah, and then, you know, both teams go in at half-time, and you say, what happens at half-time? You have mini discussions, don't you, as players? The manager says their bit, but maybe they eat some sweets, Farah, or something. They get more energy, because the second half totally changed.
It did. I felt like Arsenal knew where the areas were to exploit Man United. They just didn't do it quick enough and with the intensity needed to get themselves the goals that they got. When they come out in the second half, Rene Slegers must have said, girls, we're doing this right. It just needs to be more intent. And I think that intent was showed certainly in the early parts of the second half.
Yeah, well, they got the penalty to make it 2-1, didn't they? Let's talk you through this and what happened.
It was just, I think Man United were complaining a little bit. You'll see here it's Ford on the left-hand side and her and Bizet have a little bit of a coming together. She then gets herself in the box and out of nowhere, Grace Clinton doesn't need to make this challenge, Alex. I think the fact that she does, a little bit of frustration, leaving your leg there in that position only gives the referee one decision. And for me, the correct decision, and then Caldenti, the most composed player on the field, puts it away. Really good finish.
She's a phenomenal talent. I think she's been one of the signings of the season, coming to Arsenal, making a huge impact, not just with her technical ability, but her scoring ability as well. I think she's so pivotal in that midfield for this Arsenal team.
Do you know what, it's really hard here at the Emirates. 45,000 fans come in to cheer Arsenal on in their last game. And it is a party atmosphere going on. Sweet Caroline, I was used to hearing that during the Euros, Ellen, when you were still playing and you were winning. But it is a fantastic way to end the season, isn't it? The goals kept on coming for Arsenal in that second half. Let's look at 3-1. Frida Marnham.
Yeah, I mean, again, as I said, that intensity, body's getting forward. Marnham's the one that actually runs this ball down. You'll see her here highlighted. She does really well. She just looks like she's recycling the ball, but then there's this run, that little burst into the box. And for Katie McCabe to see it, I mean, it's a well-taken goal. The way she takes it here, outside of it, was a little bit like Thierry Henry when he played at Arsenal, and the way she bends it into that far corner. Really good finish, Ellen.
Oh, it's a beautiful finish, and I think that weight of pass from Katie McCabe's through ball, but then that touch and that curling finish by Marnham, it's beautiful.
And kisses the badge right there, that's what it means. Her joining us right now, Captain Kim Little. Congratulations, what a way to end the season with that goal, and obviously the 3 points which secures second spot. But for you, Kim, a fantastic goal, and looking forward now to the Champions League final.
Yeah, obviously after our last two results we wanted to come here at Emirates and finish the league season on a high, and I think we did that mostly today. We put on a good performance, scored some really good goals to get us in a really good place leading into the final in 2 weeks.
How did you regroup after those last disappointing and conceding 9 goals?
Yeah, I think we also regrouped after the Aston Villa game. They were both really quick turnarounds, so it was almost move on, reflect, think about the things we didn't do well, which was obviously conceding too many goals. We've obviously done that again today, so we maybe need to reflect again. But we scored more than the other teams, so that's obviously the positive. But yeah, we regrouped. We've got a great team and with so much quality and belief in the team. So we know we can always do it, and I'm glad we got the win today, but obviously we need to sharp a little bit maybe.
Well, Kim, let's look at your goal, because it was a fantastic strike. And actually, I was confused that I was given the stat that you haven't scored a goal since 2004, last February, in the WSL. So what a moment it actually was. But this is a great goal.
Yeah, I thought, I've not scored in the league this year. I don't think it was nice to get into the box, and I think it was a great goal from Chloe, and I just took it on a snapshot, which obviously meant the goalkeeper couldn't get down quick enough. So yeah, I'm happy to score on the last day of the season.
And you've built those connections now. Obviously, your relationship with Caldente, obviously Chloe, she's been phenomenal form as well. Ford on the other side, Marnham. It's just built over the season as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, the team's changed a little bit throughout the year. Mariona's came into kind of midfield more, which has changed from being on the left. So yeah, you have to develop different connections. Mariona's a bit more attacking, which then allows me to kind of balance the team. But then obviously at times it's good to be really dynamic, and today I think we showed that with Frida scoring and then me scoring as well.
Kim, Manchester United formation today, did it take you a while to adapt to that and then get your rhythm? Because the second half, you come out, the intensity, the goals that came in the second half, did it take a while to get that and understand how to figure them out?
Yeah, I think before the game, especially in the Aston Villa and Brighton game, like the changes of formations between 3 and 4s, we've been speaking about a lot in the press. So for us, it's not knowing what another team do. You can't prepare with a set thing to do. So for us, the most important thing is communicating between us, connecting as each other to make sure we're in the right place because it's so fluid. And I think when we do that well, that's when we're at our best.
Is that the plan, Kim, when you're going to face an opponent like Barcelona, and what you did manage to do so well as an Arsenal team, especially the second leg against Lyon, is be on the front foot and press them high?
Yeah, and that is part of our game. I think we're one of the teams that are in the highest press the most when you look at stats. I think when we go up against Barcelona, they're obviously probably the best team on the ball in the world, so that's obviously something we have to take into consideration, and we'll obviously review that in the next 2 weeks to make sure we make the right choices going into that final.
Okay, Captain Kimmy Little, thank you for joining us.
Congratulations
on the win today, and a massive good luck
Thank you very much.
in 2 weeks. Right, let's get over to Katie Smith, who's with Player of the Match, Chloe Kelly, right now.
Well, Chloe, congratulations on the win, wrapping up second place in the WSL as well. But your goal after 115 seconds, I don't know if you know this, is the fastest scored by Arsenal at the Emirates in the WSL.
Lovely stuff. Great way to start the game, and it's great playing for this club, and to score a goal at the Emirates was incredible.
And what about wrapping up second place today off the back of 2 results that you probably wanted to put to bed?
Yeah, it's great. I know that the last 2 games aren't a reflection of us, but this performance today and our reaction definitely is a reflection of us as a team, and it's great to get the result here today. United are a great side, and we was able to do our job in front of goal and score many goals.
It still felt like a tricky game to summarise, though, because you're 4-1 up, you're scoring as if for fun, and then conceding those 2 late goals. What are you doing now with 2 weeks ahead of what could be the biggest game of your season, the Champions League final? What are you doing to correct those sorts of mistakes?
Yeah, we'll work hard in training as a group. I think we showed in the final third today we was great, and I think we've been lacking that in recent weeks, but I think today we was brilliant, and we've got a lot of training in our legs to get through for the next 2 weeks, and we'll do everything we can to be in the best place possible come the final.
You look so happy playing for Arsenal. I think there's a lot of fans out there today at the Emirates who probably want to see you play here again.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm grateful for the opportunity to represent this badge and represent this club. And in January, I was in a difficult place, but now, thanks to Renee Slagers, she's given me an opportunity to put my smile back on my face, and hopefully I've repaid that.
Congratulations, you are the player of the match.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, we've had Captain Kim Little, and now we've got the manager, Renee Slagers. We're being spoilt today. We were just hearing from Chloe Kelly, obviously player of the match, Renee, smiling. She's made a huge impact since coming to Arsenal. What's her future now? Have you started those discussions?
That's all happening in the background. My big focus has been to get the team as ready as possible for United, of course, this game, which is very important. We secured a second place in the table, and then we have a final to look forward to. And so I'm a lot in the moment, but of course we're planning for next season as well in the background.
What pleased you today about this performance?
I think we played a game that's in front of us, much better than the last 2 games. United make it really hard for us with the player-for-player press. So you're constantly under pressure as a player on the pitch, and that's really hard to deal with. But if you do it really well and you concentrate and you get your details right, then you can play out of the pressure, and I think we did that really well in a couple of moments. We scored 4 goals. So I'm just really proud of us finding a way to win, because you've all seen the Arsenal way, how beautiful it can be, but we also want it to be about winning, and it was about winning today.
Renee, you got the 3 points you wanted to finish in second so that you go into the later stages of the Champions League. How important is it to get the rest, recovery, preparation between now and the Champions League final, which is in 2 weeks' time?
Yeah, small margins are going to count for us, because we play at the highest level. We want to be active in all competitions. Our players play for the national teams, and the schedule is really busy, which we want to, because we want to be active in all competitions. But then all those small margins, so the days we can get off and can get our recovery in, is so important for the players, because they invest so much mentally and physically. So I'm really happy we got this done. Of course, for the fans, to get this win with so many people in the stadium, securing the second place, and that means a lot for us for next season.
Preparation for the Champions League final in 2 weeks. The girls get a few days off, rest, and then you go again. How are you managing that?
Yeah, so now we're going to have 1 recovery day and 1 day off after this game, and there will be a block of 2 days across these 2 weeks leading into Barcelona, but it's going to be all about preparing and finding the right balance of pushing them and recovering and all those things. So yeah, we're going to plan. We have a good plan in place, but we're going to put the plan into detail now tomorrow.
Okay, Renee, look, as you can see, I feel like your players are waiting for you to give the final big cheer to the fans, so I don't want to keep you. I feel like I'm going to get told off, so I'll let you go enjoying your team. But a big good luck for your final in 2 weeks' time. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mike. Thank you, Renee. It's going to be a great game next week. Chelsea lifting that trophy once again, but all eyes on the cup final at Wembley. Coverage will be starting at 12:50 on BBC One. It is Chelsea taking on Manchester United. You'd be mad to miss it.